Alright, so now that your last time I greased 2 pins, but the pads were severely low, uneven wear. Yep. Pretty much just been working right now, catching up on some things, but helping some people out, getting their car work done, some brakes, this and that. Just not real talking through it, so I didn't post it. But today's kind of a odd day. I haven't really been keeping up with the news very much, so just been a little bit busy. I'm getting ready to do an oil pump chain and a tensioner on a Volkswagen right now, and I'm going to be filming, so that'll be fun. The Jeep, I'm about to do a head gasket on the 4 liters. That's going to be a video I'm going to be doing here soon. And a 12mm for the brake line. Okay. Take this and just sit it over here. And kind of see it pops out. So does that. So. Okay. So we just did grease pins on and this and that, but yeah, I've been kind of saving up on parts right now. I'm about to do some Jeep work, but some Volkswagen work too. So the Volkswagen needs quite a bit. So I've been going through a lot with that right now. Chain started rattling in the block, so it's either a tensioner. It's not a balance shaft. I haven't seized, so it looks like the Duralast kit for this didn't come with the hardware, so we're going to be moving hardware over stuff out here. So let's see if I got any space here. So this is if you only have basic tools, you don't have any ratchets or anything, but you have wrenches. You can buddy wrench these out. So one wrench over the other. And you can generally spin them. Get it over here. So I thought I was using a rotor set screw, but there's no set screw in the hub. You can see. So you're changing rotors on these. You can take a nut like this, okay? Okay, so hold it in place like that. And mainly I'm just doing a pretty thorough job with this one, so pull our existing hardware, do some cleanup work. Using a so okay, so on top like that. Okay, so we got it. I'm gonna switch our hardware over. Ah, there was supposed to be 2. Apparently there's only 1. So, okay. First thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna spray there, but I decided not to, so I'm gonna do it out here by the curb. Well, yeah, I hope everybody's been good. I just been busy as a mofo right now, trying to catch up on things. Right now I'm finishing up my book. Well, one of them. Finishing up 3 cats right now in the editing phase. So. It's been a process of patience. I didn't know that Microsoft Word had an editor. I didn't know that, so my ass was doing it by hand the whole time. Come to find out, it's like, well, you can just click the editor button and run with it that way. I was like, well, that's interesting. I didn't know nothing about that. Okay, so we got our caliper right here. I'm gonna probably stick y'all somewhere back here for now. Right there. Use this to catch. So first I'm gonna hit this here. Yeah, so right now I'm in finishing 3 Cats in Chip City. I can tell you the book itself didn't take me very long to write. I think I wrote that book in about a month, maybe less than that. But the ending, I didn't tack the ending on until the editing phase, because I didn't really know how I was going to end the book, and I ended it in a kind of a perfect way, I thought. But it's first one of the series. I'm going to be getting together a film crew to do a YouTube movie for it. So not like big film, like I'm not shooting for like big film in the theaters thing, but a film that's private, independent, YouTube driven, and going with that. So that's going to be in the future, though. For now, I gotta finish up the editing. That seems to be the hardest part when you don't have somebody you pay to edit. Is getting that done. It's not quick. It's a lot quicker if you use the editing software. Well, I didn't even know they had that, so I'm pretty new to writing books and stuff like that. And the thing that's weird is I did like scholarly papers in college that I didn't know that you could use that, and that would have saved me a whole lot more time if I would have done that. But I haven't been in school quite a bit ever since, going for this and going for medical. I haven't really touched any of it, so a lot of what I've seen with my experience in books, though, is writing them can be really, really tedious. For some reason, 3 Cats just came together. I rolled with the punches with it, and it all just kind of lined up, and I was like, well, that's weird. So, fiction book, but it's one I kind of read it over, and I was like, dang, like I usually did a pretty good job on that. It didn't take me that long, which was very weird. And maybe a month to write the whole thing out, minus the last little entry of it. But I will say the book City of Bridges took me about 2 months to write so far, and I'm only about 2 or 3 chapters into it. So there's 4 chapters total, so I'm going to be taking my time on that, kind of transitioning and finishing that project, because I've been on that book for a while. And to be honest with you, that wasn't a very hard book to write either. The City of Bridges wasn't that hard. It was a fairly quick novel, but I'm only about maybe 2 chapters in, so the introduction part of it. It's probably going to be a series, kind of like the Three Cats. So Three Cats will probably be a series. City of Bridges will probably be a series, and I might drop them like as like chapter books, so they're quick reads at a time. So I might just drop what I have for the City of Bridges and move on to City of Bridges Alpha District, City of Bridges Beta District, and do maybe I might do like a chapter per book type thing. Like the chapter is a book. So I drop them a chapter at a time, so they're short reads instead of one big book. I did that because I can make the books cheaper, but they can sit in a collection set. So it's kind of a weird thing I did. I ain't a rat, dude. But right now, I'm pretty much, the thing that's kind of stupid is I didn't decide to do the chapters at a time until I did Three Cats. And Three Cats, technically I already have the City of Bridges done. So the introductory book of the series is done, but I haven't posted anything, which I could. I need to do an editing round on it. So but I'm gonna probably be dropping a few books at a time. And another book called Eternal that I'm dropping. It's more of a love novel, romance novel, but I'm not very good at those. I'm kind of more, I just write what I write. I don't really know why. So I'm kind of one of those authors that's kind of like, maybe I'm more random than other people. And that could be what you see. You're like, oh, this was kind of a random book. And it's like, well, sometimes, a lot of it is I don't expect us to succeed right away, okay? Like, I could be 10 years in before I actually drop a good book. And it's like, well, okay, it's a long run. I'm not really worried about it. But Three Cats in Chip City was, I didn't actually have a plot for it. I had no plot for it at all. It was kind of like it just showed up and I was like, well, it was actually, I did the painting for the cover before I did anything, which was very strange. So it was very weird how that happened, but yeah, the cover for it was first. But I didn't have a plot while I was going. It was more like I just randomly wrote a book and kind of ran with it. And I was like, well, I guess this is how it's going to go. And it turned out good for me, I think. It might be that nobody likes it. And I'm like, well, okay, that's fine. I don't really care. Nobody likes it. It's not really a big deal. I like it. I thought it was a good book. But it might be that nobody likes Three Cats. I'm not really worried about it. But it's one novel out of like, I think I'm going to do 3 or 4 of them. I might do 4. Probably 4. So it's going to be kind of like each novel is about the characters in the story. I might do one about every character. It might be something that's like, could be like 6 books deep. I don't know. But I'm already done with the first one. So could be the first one's the best one, I don't know. But putting some hardware back here. I actually got this clean, bro. You can tell these calipers, everything's real clean up in here, so I did a good job. Stuff is really good. I bought it in a bigger jar instead of squeeze tubes because it comes with a brush on it, which is a lot more handy. So a lot more handy to brush it on there. Grease on both sides. I thought about using brake disc quiet on this, but I think I'm going to pass on that. So can we use the brush here? How's it going? Pretty good. It's finishing up on this side here. I've got a new brake pads for the tool I could be using here. use it on the other side. Kind of show it off a little bit. It's an OEM tool. Don't ask me why, but there's no bottom hardware. I don't know. It didn't come with the kit either, so kind of like, what's up with that? Okay. Grease pins pushed in. Oh, that's the third one. Bolts. So the bottom one goes in first, and then this one goes over, but it sits in that groove in there. So shoot with the file. That's good enough. Okay. Ourselves a dang good brake job there. So you can see it's gonna have to be pressed in, but grab rid of one of these tabs here. Still been fighting the monster of the cigars, man. Ain't easy. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna put a wheel weight. Okay. So I'm gonna get started on the other side here. Some of the tools you might need. This is a new OEM spreader I got. So I'm gonna try it on my Kia and see how it goes. But that really is nice, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. The only thing I'm missing out of this is a parts date. But for brake jobs, I generally just use the black pen. So, optional buddy wrench. Advocate for them. I'm using basic tools here. Gotta show people how to do it if you don't want the good stuff. So, alright, go for it first on it, bro. These ones didn't have as bad of wear. There's some over there, so these ones are stuck. Okay. Down. Buddy wrench this one. I'm gonna grab something for it. The other side was for basic tools, this one. Really in there. So start with that chair. That was way in there, so so the pan looks good underneath. I don't see no leaks. Transmission looks good, no leaks. So alright. Pop some hardware out of here. Hey, good. How are you, man?
Okay, I got package for you guys.
Oh, I'm a mechanic. Just drop it up top. I was here for working on the car.
Oh, nice. How much you getting paid to do that?
It just depends on what I'm doing. I got specials that I run. You looking for some work?
Oh no, I'm just curious.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I keep petty on mine. Don't worry.
Oh, okay, cool. So if you need something, man, I'll give you a card. Have a good one. Tool from OEM Tools, but it's a lot easier than using a C-clamp. So it's a lot easier than using that there. You just torque it in. Seems to work fairly well. I kind of like the C-clamp a little more. So this will work pretty good with like pretty much single piston brakes, but dual piston brakes, different tools. So this is just for my single piston here. Not too much tension to turn it. Seems like a pretty good tool. I don't really notice any give in it where it's giving me problems per se, so that's good. But, yeah. See, that's fine craftsmanship for the tool. Yeah. Not bad. This. Oh yeah, those pins are bad. These are pretty rough. I haven't seen pins like this in a bit. Yow. Those ones got torched and it's missing a seal on the end. just hit my phone, bro. Back the boot like that off the. That bottom one was bad, but that one. These ones, somebody's been skipping the grease on these. This is why I love having it. Quick and easy. Good. Stuff is really nice too. Much preferred in the bottle, this container than the bottle. Just pads, no hardware. Generally comes in the hardware if it's Duralast too, so I'm like, what's up with that? There's grease plenty on that piston there. Too full. Alright. This outside. Okay. Okay. Push these pins in. So work in a couple of them. I'm gonna kind of switch an angle here too, so kind of getting used to the whole filming thing here. Okay, so part 2 of this video, alright, is the evaporator core drain on the back of the rear of the Sienna. So if you have water in your floorboard here, this is the tube, okay? It goes in that hole right there, okay? And water tends to leak in here into the carpet because it leaks from the evaporator itself, okay? So you can take the jack out for it. You don't have to. I took part of it out, but I'm going to try snaking it first, okay? And running a wire up it and seeing if I can unclog it. If I can't, I'm probably going to have to run a do a little turn and see if we can just break it loose from the evaporator itself. To be honest, it's on there pretty good, so I'm going to try and run as much wire in here as I possibly can and snake this out. So who knows how much is in there. There's some people that use vacuums, like wet vacs. I don't disagree with doing that. That's not a bad idea. So you can see I snaked the whole wire up in the evaporator core. All the way out. Okay. No water coming out. There's no water down there either. But it was leaking on the carpet, and it could be that it's a seal, but I don't think so. And it could be that they unplugged the evaporator cord, it just rushed through, and that could be what happened. It had a leak and then it came through. So what we're gonna do is kind of snake this back on. Just stick it through the firewall first. Okay. So I'm just showing you guys how to do this. It had a leak in it. It really didn't show me anything coming out. But you can see it's back to the firewall. So it might need to be replaced too, might need to be vacuumed out. The floor was sopping wet the other day, so I think that evaporator core was leaking down in here into the carpets down through here. And I think that's where the water was coming from. So that's where your evaporator drain hose is right there. If you start the car and run the AC, you'll be able to see it start sweating. It'll start sweating through here. It could be that you have to replace your whole evaporator core, which, by the way, there's AC lines, Freon lines that run through this van, which is kind of dangerous. I saw that and I was like, what's up with that? Another thing you can do is you can hook up a tube with a brake pump and pump air into it, or I would pump air into it to try and release anything. You can put fluid into it and push it out. The best way to do these is to either snake them with a wire like I did, or you use a wet vac and you attach it to the hose with some duct tape and you suck it all out, and that's not a bad way to go. So we're gonna keep going. I got some more to do on this thing. I got some taillights to put in, and I got some struts to put in here, so let's keep going. Alright, we're gonna do some rear struts here. So get a pick in there, pop this clip out. Okay, that clip right there, go fetch that one. That clip though, you can see it'll hold that together. There's one for the top too. Okay. See if I can find where the hell that thing went. That thing went bouncing around out here somewhere. There it is. I'm gonna hang on to them. A lot of times I hang on to them, but let me see here.
I was waiting for the dog.
Oh. Okay, they come with new clips. So with these, all you really have to do is push them on. Like that, okay? So push that one on, it's good. So this turns. The problem is you have to lift that hatch a little bit. So that being said, we're gonna use the pick on this side and pull this out, okay? You know, I've had somebody working on me to film me today, but I don't. hold this up at the same time, but you're gonna punch it out like that. Okay. Drop it. Yeah. Oh, really?
I think it's a fuse.
Oh, huh.
Those are the AC fuse all there.
There it is. Oh. Oh. Okay. So, boom, 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 boom. We're gonna do both sides. So. Alright, so here we are again, folks. Just doing some tail lights, and we'll have some time to talk. We got a little bit of time before she gets back, so pump brakes, but I got my bulbs open and ready here. So let's take it and run those 10s out. Yeah, so I ran two 10 millimeters out of the tail light here. But you'll see it's kind of clipped in. So it's got a dislodge. It's got a button here and a button there that goes into the grommets. So we're going to remove our main harness, okay? Right here. So see, push, clip, pull. All right. Now our main brake light bulb is right there, so it's going to be this one right here. Okay, so you're going to twist it and pull. There she is. So this side wasn't bad; it's the right side, but I'm replacing both anyway. So with this, they're really easy, dude. I mean, right out the socket. Okay, you're basically gonna take it. You can see the ends were kind of charred on this old one too. Until it snaps. You want to make sure it snaps. Back in, okay? Turn it. These are Toyota taillights are freaking easy, dude. Like, they're really easy. So we're gonna go back to the position we were in before. Straight up. Clip. That's for a reverse light, I believe. For the top. So we're not really messing with that. I could pull it and look at it real quick, but you can see that doesn't really look bad at all. So we're good. So you're gonna turn it, okay? You're gonna make sure these grommets fit in there first. So up, and there's a Midas touch to them. Get them to fit. Getting videos done. I did a bunch of ministry videos I got rid of, and they were spiritual talks, but I decided to do more biblical for, I think I'm going to start season 3. And so I have a couple of them, like the Hat Man video I'm going to post about season 2, but season 3 I wanted to go straight biblical and start getting into the book of Matthew, so that's probably where I'm going to start. But, yeah. So, okay. Alright, 1, 2. So we're going to see which one's burnt here. I'm not sure which one's burnt, but we'll see. We're going out like that, okay? Straight up, like this. Pull it. I'm going to use my right hand, my good hand. Okay. Look here, so we got 2 of them. We're going to pull this one first and look. That one doesn't look too bad. Let's pull this one and look. We're going to see which one's burnt. I don't know which one's burnt here. So. That one does not look bad. That one looks like it's probably burnt. 1, 2. Which kick on the light. The wire's intact there. That one looks like it's probably burnt. So back in with this one here. I probably should have got 4 of them. But so that's probably our brake light here. So boom. Once again, when you stick a new one of these in, you want to make sure that it snaps. It's a good angle here. Make sure your bulb snaps, okay? If you don't have the connection in. Taillight's obviously not going to work. So, there's the one that I'm suspecting is burnt. Back in our up position here, okay? Clip back in, click, flip. Okay. You can see, lined up. Yeah, a little bit of weird talk today. The Three Cats book, hope you guys like it. It's not, I'm not gonna say it's a dark book, but if it's not definitely in the center of the light, but it was a book that I wrote that was non-violent. It's more of like a fiction mob book that was a Roe fiction mob book that was not violent. That I didn't want to like have people shooting each other and this and that. So I really like watching the older movies. You know, the mafia mob movies. They're really cool, like Godfather and all that. I love them. But I wanted to write a book that was and do a movie for YouTube that was non-violent, but it was comedic and also had some touch to it. So that was why I wrote Three Cats the way I did. So I wrote Three Cats a particular way where it wasn't all shootout and this and that. I mean, there was a little bit of it, but I mean, it was kind of, I went as lighthearted as I possibly could on it. But Three Cats is it's more of it's a book series, a fiction book series. If anybody wants to say, well, you know, you're lukewarm or this or that, maybe you should see it as though I did those books so it can lead other people back to Footprints and other things like that. So if you enjoy Three Cats in Chip City, maybe you come across Footprints and you find something, you know, some wisdom that's valuable in it that can work for you. So just don't go, you know, lashing me, stuff like that. Like, I'm not going to be all over proud and saying, oh, they're the best books ever and so on. Probably not. It's a book that I wrote, here's a clip, that I wrote really quick, in a month. And it was to set the stage for 3 other ones. And it's more of, they have a comedy touch to them that is kind of original. So that was one reason why I did what I did and how I did it. Was, I just like the old mobster movies, man. The old mobster movies. I was always a fan of them. Some people can say, you know, I had one dude that was telling me, oh, you know, you run Luigi, but you have a red and black logo for LW Automotive. And my thing's like, dude, I am who I am. I'm a red guy, and I'm, you know, from the light, but I work in the dark a lot. And I work in the dark to teach people things. So that's why my channel is red black. It's not, oh, you know, mob this. No. Don't get me twisted, okay? My thing is I enjoy teaching people in the dark about God, but also helping people out with stuff like this. Like, you don't know how to do these right here, I can teach you things, okay? It's kind of where I'm at. That's why I'm the red in the dark, but I'm from the light. So I travel out and I come back to God and get messages and missions. So that's why. The Luigi thing was actually about my dad wearing the green hat. Whenever he did brakes, or actually when he was mad, he kind of wore a green hat, but when he would work on other people's cars, he wore a green hat. So with these struts, when you do these here, you need to make sure you have both sides off in order to attach the first one. Make sure they're steady on there. Make sure your clips are in. They come with new clips, so you just punch on. So it's easier with 2 people. If you have one person that can hold the hatch while you remove both of these, and then cut the tape and let it unfold and do it, it's way easier, okay? So that's kind of how I recommend if you're doing the hatches. The hatch struts, get 2 people, or if you do it by yourself, make sure you do it where you can hold the door still. Without the hatch coming down on you, so. Alright, so let's get the jack back in the car, but I'll just talk for the rest of the video pretty much. You guys might be like, well, okay, we learned this and that. I'm just kind of doing my podcast when I'm doing my podcast. You'll notice at the end of season 2 with my actual podcast and my automotive podcast kind of went like that for a second and then went like that. A lot of it was I kind of just stuck to seasons and biblical spiritual with the other one, and this is more of just me talking, okay? Like I'm here just talking with y'all. That's really it. So when it comes to it though, bro, like a lot of these brake jobs are really simple. So if you're, this is my advice too for somebody who's stuck in a situation, say like you're dealing with like a malevolent person that screwed you over, okay, and the system is squeezing you, pick up a trade, okay? Something you can do for yourself where you're not so stressed out all the time over this and that. You can make ends meet and you're not getting ground down by the system, okay? Because the system, it isn't right now. It's screwed up in multiple ways where women and men are both seeing an unfair side of it, where men get gouged for money, but women, they get gouged for time. And so both sides lose with time and money unless they come to an agreement and they're wise about it. Well, and the wise thing to do is, if you have kids and you're married, don't get divorced unless you have a serious sexual sin like cheating or they're doing something stupid. Honestly, I think that watching porn is a reason for divorce. And I think that's for both ends, where it's like, you know, if your wife's watching porn and you're watching porn, like, I think they should be allowed to divorce you, because, well, if you don't quit, I mean, obviously you give chances and you work things out. You know, what God wants you to do, He wants you to work things out, not throwing the towel right away, but I do think it's grounds for it. I'm a very big anti-porn dude. I don't like the shit. And it's far from biblical, man. When it comes, well, I mean, it's biblical, but there's more reasons. It's not far from biblical, but there's more reasons I don't like it, and it's that it indoctrinates the youth, but it screws people's minds up. So they see making love to somebody from the other gender and procreation as something it's not. And that's, you know, our entire culture has become sexualized and this and that, and it's kind of pissed me off, because everything's over sexualized and this and that. The one thing I have a problem about with divorce too, that I don't understand with modern culture, is why it has become a new thing to have kids with someone, screw them over, and then marry somebody else. It seems to be this thing where, like, they have kids with somebody but they end up marrying some other guy. It's like, well, why is that such a common occurrence? So somebody else pays for your kids and this and that, and you go off and you get hitched by somebody else, so you have, you know, you can eat your cake and have it too, or have your cake and eat it too. Like, I don't really know exactly what that's all about, but I think that there's a lot of women out there that are older that would tell you maybe they will in the future through our current generation, that if they could have done things, they wouldn't have done that they would have found their lives more meaningful if they would have stayed with that person. And sometimes that's not the case, because sometimes they're pretty screwed up, where things aren't good between relationship dynamics, and that's not my problem. I'm just telling you, I think that that's what people are going to end up saying to each other, or that you know, that maybe we should have made things work and not thrown in the towel and done, you know, what they did. And, you know, there's cheating as grounds for divorce, and that's just how it is. So if you cheat, well, you're screwed, bro. If you're a guy and you cheat, if you're a guy and you're married and you cheat, that's not very smart. I mean, dude, you've already settled down. What are you doing? You know. Whoa, pedals to the floor, bro. Okay. Pedal hit the floor. I was like, oh, hold on a second. That ain't good. So, first thing we're gonna do here. Okay. Look for a brake reservoir. I'm going to leave it open for just a second and let it kind of chill, but this thing runs good. The plugs in it didn't look bad. It had NGK. I did a diagnostic on it and found that the brakes were low and the evaporator had a plug in it and this and that, but the plugs didn't look bad. NGKs, not bad really. So sorry I'm talking car and spiritual, maybe a little biblical with you too at the same time. But what I have to say about it is, I think that people in our era, that needs to get popped out. I might be able to do that actually. That's not bad. Yeah. Only I have that tool on me. I think that people are going to regret doing divorce. I think it's going to be a big problem that people, they like mashed their divorces or mashed their marriages up, and they don't really know what to do about it, you know? Where it's become such a issue, like a collective issue, that it's like maybe people need to lean into the Bible and understand forgiveness and understand what to do. I think that's good. Let's check for some leaks real quick. But I think that's where things are going to end up going, is that people want to get back together with their people of their youth. I didn't really have one, so for me, well, I had, oh, come on, that's a plastic. Oh, I don't see no brake leaks. So I think that people are going to want to get back together with the people of their youth, or the people that they married and divorced, or the people that they had kids with, because it was stable, but it's something, you know, maybe they can work on and build something meaningful from it. And it could be that they found something meaningful after that, but there's a piece of that where it's like the person of your youth, if they cheat on you or they do that, like it takes something out of you, it takes something out of your future too. It's not really fair to anybody, especially the person that did it. It's not fair to themselves. Yep. Looks good, homie. Make sure our pads are, yep, look good. So I think it's going to be that way, where people have an awakening to that, where they're like, oh, you know, regardless of kids, and it could be that kids are something that causes that to happen. But yeah, we're gonna scan a code on it too. The check engine light on it. So yeah, I think that's how things are going to start going, though. That people are going to start wanting to get back together with the people who they had something with, that it took something from them, and try and fix it. Well, and unfortunately, me, it's not really possible for me because I was screwed over how I was. So some people, it's like paternity fraud, stuff like that, or you did something seriously bad to the other person. Like it's a wash up, okay? But I think things are going to start shifting towards a era of fixing things the best they can, for themselves, not necessarily for their children, but for themselves. And the reason is because people don't really think about their children. Well, they do, but they also tend to think about themselves a lot, because, well, we're human beings, so we're about ourselves too. You know, a lot of us are people who are lukewarm, I could say, or out in the dark. They have a tendency to think about themselves versus their children in some aspects when it comes to romance and things like that. Oh, there's nothing in the computer. And maybe I'm wrong too. Don't throw rocks at me. I'm trying to figure it out. But and it could be that we go into an era where everybody detaches from each other, and it's like, well, that ain't good. So we'll kind of see where that goes, you know. But that thing looked good. I don't think I got any more issues to fix here today, but I think it's going to start leaning that way. You know, mark my words, I guess, maybe in a way, but maybe my words are wrong about it. Could be people just keep on hating each other, and they hold their resentment their whole damn lives, and they can't figure it out. For me, there's some things that are irreparable too. Like if you took serious amounts of time from somebody, oh, I hate those keys. If you took serious amounts of time from somebody, you're gonna have to pay for that. And a lot of that is just, if you had somebody that you were married to that lied and cheated on you for 20 years straight, and you found out, there's no way, dude. Like, you can't waste all your time. Yeah, you just can't waste your time. So I think there'll be a era of fixing things, but I think there's also an era where people don't know, or an era of people fixing things, but also other people that are becoming distant from humanity, where they just, and I can see that with MGTOW in a little bit. Don't throw rocks at me, MGTOW. To be honest, I support y'all going your own way and doing what you're doing. So if I support you in what you're doing, don't be throwing rocks at me, because I understand where you're coming from. A lot of people are like, no, you don't. And it's like, oh, yes, I do, because I was MGTOW at one time. There was one time I used to watch the videos, and I wanted to be a follower. I wanted to do that, and I was like, well, if I'm going my own way, that means I'm not going with MGTOW. I'm going my own way. So I wasn't really men going their own way. I was more of lone wolves going his own way. So it's like, well, if you hate me, it's cool. You know, love you too. I don't really know. But let's see how much I got paid for that, because this is pretty good. So we'll kind of see this in the future, where things are going to switch up a little bit. So he hooked me up with a tip too. Nice $20 tip, not bad. So yeah, it's one of them things, bro. Things are gonna start shifting around, and people are gonna start probably treating each other a little bit different too. When it comes to my past and what happened to me, I forgive the person, but I don't have enough energy or time left in me to give importance to people that have screwed me, because I've been screwed so much. So it's like, I kind of like, I forgive y'all and everything, but it is what it is. So I was gonna show off my new lighter. This thing cursed or something, bro, because I bought it and it only worked for a little bit, but I think it needs fluid. So check this thing out. It's a King of Clubs, the Ace of Spades, bro. So I picked this up, a little novelty lighter, but yeah, you'll see. So yeah, ain't bad. But so that's the Toyota Sienna for today. I hope y'all are doing well. I love y'all. Spread light, spread love. Next time, probably a head gasket on the Jeep. We'll see. Till next time, Lone Wolf, peace out.